producing people for the industry. And that has continued consistently till this point. It means that it's from the policy direction. That's why we have as a policy in the country. Do we expect the NDC to make changes to these policies?
Yeah, because see, they're looking at it from that angle would take us where we've always been. That
Yeah.
means we produce people with a mindset that, and you hear that all over the place, that we need to link industry to education. And that is just reinforcing what Rockefeller advocated. He said, I need factory workers. Is that all we need to build our country? If you go back to history and look at people who are corrupt, most of them have degrees. And most criminals who cause us to lose about 300 billion every year, 3 billion every year, are educated, they have degrees. When they were appointed ministers, anytime it is announced, the person's degrees are listed, but his accomplishments are not listed.
Yeah, I
He
understand.
was a deputy minister. What did he accomplish? Why are we picking him? Why can't they highlight on what he has accomplished? And that makes us feel that, look, this person can get work done, so we need to pick him as a minister. But the emphasis was he attended this university, he attended that university. At the end of the day, um, you may not be able to get the right caliber of people. It's not their fault because our education system is like that. Look at US cabinet. Donald Trump's cabinet, they don't have doctors in them, but they have a lot of people with industrial experience, life
Yeah.
skills that can really be used to impact whatever sector they go into. So I think we need to now begin to emphasize accomplishment. Even if the person hasn't been to school, he can still be able to fix societal problems. And the mindset will be that we are giving people tasks to fix our problems, not to show us how many degrees they have.
We have.
So at the end of the day, the resetting agenda is a broad one that must encapsulate transforming basic education. We have a lot of things that we criticize, and I champion most of the criticisms against the previous government. They had a double track system that we have criticized consistently. Some of these programs, we don't need to just rubbish it and put it in the garbage. Let's ask ourselves how we can perfect them, so that they become very meaningful. As a teacher, I know one thing I need is a decongested class. I don't need to teach 100 people in one classroom. And then it becomes a class rally. The rally, they listen to you. And the expectation is that a lecturer is very knowledgeable. He knows societal problems and he knows the solutions. Therefore, he downloads it to our students and they can function effectively if that becomes the case. You need to remodel the classroom, and the objective is to bring the best out of the students also. It becomes more transactional. Whatever the students come up with, identifying societal problems, you must facilitate their ability, them to come up with solutions. And if we have solution-based knowledge, it's going to help our country significantly. We don't produce people who can speak English. An engineer who speaks English very well is seen as competent. The one who built bridge is not seen that way. But most of our bridges are built by Chinese. So why should we emphasize so much on English? So it's time that we produce people who can do things and not those who can consume things and explain societal problems. We all know the problems that exist in our society. But in our country today, because of the nature of our educational system, we produce people who are not problem solvers, who are not able to lead, because leadership doesn't entail sitting on the stage or having big title, but influencing people to get problems solved. Look at our neighborhoods. You look at our neighborhoods, we have a lot of filth, we have a lot of garbage, we have a lot of plastic waste around. Do we still have leaders who can come and say, look, let's clean and mobilize the people, give them incentives, remove obstacles on their way so they get it done? At the end of the day, governance will be effective. So I think everything boils around our education. And if we fix education, we are going to put our nation on a stage to solve many problems that bedevil us since independence.
And
Because we can't continue the old fashioned where they were teaching us how to use the bell. The school, when we're in primary school, you have to ring the bell for people to go on break.
break.
If you go to factory, it's the same thing. So they were training you for factories. And then 21st century, we need to move away from that.
Wow. Since you are the head of research of Proforma, you did a lot of work, especially on education for Ghana. Let's narrow down to the NDC's research agenda. One, we want to find out what is the core vision behind the reinventing education under this agenda.
Well, in Ghana, we have zillions of problems, unemployment, many of them. And the supposition is always that if we give them certain type of skills, they will not only be able to work or fill existing jobs, but they will be able to create jobs.
Jobs.
The NDC's vision is centered around not just opening doors for the youth, but making the youth create their own doors so they can open it. If you look at an average student, in my university, we have engineering school, we have business school. Now, what we inherited as a system, it tells you that if you are an engineer, mind your business. Don't think about business. So you study things that are related to building bridges to whatever. Now, business person also learn just business. So at the end of the day, they don't get holistic education. They are put in a situation where they need to handle business as an engineer, they can function. So we need to have a bridge so that someone doing engineering will have some knowledge in marketing, some knowledge in finance, some knowledge in human resource. So at the end of the day, the person is able to function. Because what theory does is that it gives you a tool, it gives you tools to actually apply to real world situation. So